I've been busy the last year or so exposing the Obama liberals and atheists and calling America back to the God and country values that founded this nation, and I've been neglecting the Islamic threats to this nation. It's time for me to get back in that saddle, especially since Mr. Obama appears to be rebuilding the bloodshedding capabilities of terrorists. The terrorists now have a whole bunch of brand new made American weapons, and the worst of the worst have been released from Guantanamo. Thank you, Mr. Obama. So what are the preludes to terrorist attacks? Here's one example. I got a letter from a viewer that shows a common tactic terrorist groups who will someday attack Americans do right here in the USA. She writes, "Bill, my church recently hosted a reconciliation event to bring Muslims and Christians together. A speaker from C.A.I.R, the Council on American Islamic Relations, told us that Islam truly is a religion of peace, and if we were capable of reading the Quran in Arabic, we would understand that. Something didn't seem right about the whole evening. What do you think?" I am so glad you asked. There was nothing right about that evening. Let me guess. It was all about the prejudice and bigotry that poor Muslims are suffering at the hands of bigoted Americans. Wah, wah, wah. Well, here's a Wild Bill bullet of truth. There is no backlash against Muslims in the USA. Just the opposite. Nearly all of America bends over backwards to accommodate them. Someday there may well be a counterattack, but in the meantime, Muslims are treated especially well in this country. Next, think about this. In what language do most bloodthirsty terrorists read the Quran? Answer, Arabic. And here's another bullet of truth. No Christian church would invite representatives of a false religion to speak. I'll talk more about that in a minute. For now, let's just say you're in a bad church and should probably get out fast. And take your checkbook with you, because every dollar you give to a bad church is a sin that you will one day answer for. Okay, C.A.I.R is not about American Islamic relations. C.A.I.R actually stands for Crybabies Attacking Intelligent Responders to Islam. C.A.I.R is the propaganda wing of militant Islam, and its twofold mission is to, one, lie convincingly to get Western civilization to drop its guard. Gee, what do you think is going to happen then? And the other prime mission of C.A.I.R is to find useful idiots who will be mouthpieces to repeat the lies over and over to pave the way for the religion of peace to take over. But know this, when Islam says peace, it means the peace that will come about when every single non-Muslim is either dead or enslaved. That is when Muslims will finally put down their weapons. The crybabies of C.A.I.R never seem to mention that part to the useful idiots that they recruit. So, where does C.A.I.R find their useful idiots? Not at Tea Party conventions, and not in Christian churches. Islam denies the Son of God, denies the crucifixion of Christ, denies the resurrection, and therefore denies the entire Christian faith. Any pastor worth his salt knows that, and any church that welcomes the enemies of Christ into their sanctuary violates the scriptures big time. And that is why C.A.I.R only operates in liberal churches. Now, the top recruiting grounds where C.A.I.R finds these idiots are liberal colleges, prisons, and liberal churches. Are you seeing a pattern there? Islam recruits where people are ignorant of God's word. And just to beat the liberal trolls to the punch, no, Muslims and Christians do not worship the same God. The entity Muslims bow down to is diametrically opposed to the Lord of the Bible, and even a cursory comparison makes that painfully obvious. So don't fall for the garbage that the crybaby C.A.I.R members give to Americans. We should be too smart for that. This is Wild Bill for America saying, think about it. Thanks for watching, and America bless God again.